Fiancé ghosted me, married my dumb cousin, and my aunt rubbed it in my face. Now he's broken jobless, she kicked him out, and I took all our savings. My name is Kavan, and I was engaged to be married to the love of my life, Tanis. We had been together for 5 years, and I thought we were rock solid. But life has a funny way of kicking you in the teeth when you least expect it. Everything started unraveling 3 months before our wedding. Tanis started acting strange, distancing himself and making excuses to avoid wedding planning. I chalked it up to pre-wedding jitters, but my gut told me something was off. Then one day, without any warning, he ghosted me. No calls, no texts, nothing. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. I was heartbroken and humiliated. I couldn't understand how someone I trusted so completely could do this to me. As if that wasn't enough, a week later, I found out through social media that Tanis had married my cousin, Stana, the same cousin who had always been the dumb blonde of the family, the kind of person who thought IQ was a department store. My heart shattered into a million pieces, but the worst was yet to come. My Aunt Berit, Stana's mother, had the audacity to call me up just to rub it in my face. "Oh, Kavan, I guess Stana was just more of his type," she sneered. "You know how she is, always the life of the party. Maybe you were just too boring for him." I was fuming. How could they betray me like this? But I swallowed my anger and decided that I needed to get my revenge. After wallowing in self-pity for a while, I pulled myself together and devised a plan. Tanis and I had a joint savings account where we had been saving for our future together, a future he had decided to share with my idiot cousin instead. I figured it was only fair that I take what was rightfully mine. The first step was to gain access to the account. Luckily, Tanis was as careless with passwords as he was with my heart. I guessed his password on the first try. Classic Tanis, always using password 123. Once in, I transferred all the money, over $20,000, into my personal account. I felt a rush of satisfaction wash over me. If Tanis wanted to play dirty, I could too. The next step was to bide my time. I needed to wait for the perfect moment to strike. And as luck would have it, that moment came sooner than I expected. I heard through the family grapevine that Tanis had lost his job. Apparently, his boss had caught him slacking off and fired him on the spot. Without a job, he was quickly running out of money. With Tanis now broke and jobless, the cracks in his marriage to Stana began to show. Stana, always the gold digger, wasn't happy living without the luxuries she had grown accustomed to. The tension between them escalated, and it wasn't long before Stana kicked him out of her apartment. I got a call from Tanis, begging me for help. He had the nerve to ask if he could crash at my place for a while. I played it cool, pretending to consider it, then told him I'd think about it. I wanted to savor this moment. Meanwhile, Aunt Berit kept adding fuel to the fire, calling me to brag about how great Stana and Tanis were doing. Little did she know, their relationship was crumbling faster than a sandcastle in a hurricane. One rainy evening, Tanis showed up at my doorstep, drenched and desperate. "Kavan, please, I have nowhere else to go," he pleaded. I let him in, gave him a towel, and listened to his sob story. He told me how Stana had thrown him out and how he regretted everything. It took every ounce of self-control not to laugh in his face. Instead, I nodded sympathetically, waiting for the right moment. "Tanis," I said calmly, "do you remember our savings account?" He looked confused for a moment before realization dawned on his face. "Yeah, what about it?" "I took all the money," I said, leaning back in my chair. "Every last cent. You thought you could betray me and get away with it? Think again." His face turned white as a sheet. "Kavan, you can't be serious. I need that money. I'm broke." I stood up and walked over to him, looking him dead in the eyes. "You should have thought about that before you ghosted me and married my cousin. Now get out of my house." He tried to argue, but I was done listening. I opened the door and motioned for him to leave. "Goodbye, Tanis. Don't ever come back." With Tanis out of my life for good, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I had taken back control, and it felt damn good. I used the money to go on a much-needed vacation, traveling to places I had always dreamed of visiting. I reconnected with old friends and started living my life for myself again. As for Stana, I heard she moved back in with Aunt Berit, who wasn't too happy about having her freeloading daughter back home. The family gossip mill was in overdrive, but I stayed out of it. I had no interest in their drama anymore. I found a new job, met new people, and even started dating again. My life was finally back on track. Every now and then, I'd hear about Tanis struggling to get by, but it didn't bother me. Karma had done its job. In the end, I realized that sometimes life throws you curveballs to test your strength. Tanis and Stana's betrayal was the wake-up call I needed to take charge of my life. And now, I'm stronger and happier than ever. To anyone going through something similar, just remember, you have the power to take control. Don't let anyone make you feel worthless. Stand up for yourself and never let anyone dim your light. Life is too short to waste on people who don't deserve you.